The title of this message is Understanding the Real Impact of Abuse. Money doesn't buy everything. There's a proper way of handling people. This message is for those who need to hear it. You know who you are, and I sincerely pray and hope that it finds you in good health and spirits. This message is raw. It is not edited or packaged all pretty, or perhaps the way you think it should be packaged. It just is. And you can either accept it or reject it. It makes no difference to me. I do not come in the spirit of condemnation, but of love. And I ask that you listen not with your ears, but with your heart. I also want to let you know that I am not just talking to you, so don't take it personal. I am talking to a whole bunch of people, so get over yourself. Recently, I sent a message out on Twitter and asked the question, PayPal has an ad that says, buy a radio without the broadcast. Can someone please tell me what that means? A brother responded to that question and said, I don't know, LOL. Now, he was the same brother that asked the question about how to deal with envy from family members and coworkers, and he sent a letter for me to answer through my advice column. After wrestling through the night in prayer, I heard this familiar voice tell me it means symbol without substance, and it refers to a being without a soul. Now, I understand that it wasn't about PayPal, because PayPal is a great vehicle for someone like me because it tracks information that is needed in terms of reporting the flow of revenue, the sending out of funds and coming in of funds, and where those funds went to and for what purpose. It may not be the most suitable vehicle in the future, but for now it works, and it is a great vehicle to take me to the next level. Now, people look at me and marvel at the beauty they think they see. Yet beauty, as is substance, is in the eye of the beholder. It depends on your perspective or orientation of mind. They may also look at me and wonder and say, wow, look at her gift. Why is she not where I am? The truth is, it is because of people like you who claim to want to help, but something in your character destroys the beauty of a thing. And the people like you means those that are arrogant, oppressive, suppressive, abusive, and take no real consideration of what is actually standing in front of them or among them. You can say that I am not where I should be or need to be, and we would be 100% in agreement. Yet based on the distance that I have traveled, I have come a long way, and if you knew just how far I've come to get to this point, you would dare not tell me to shut up and listen. You would be listening and wondering, how did she do it? The one answers, it was me all along. See, it was God all along who saw you through every hard time, every road of confusion and chaos, every turning point and crossroads, every lonely moment. It was God that answered every call for help, every question in your mind. It was God who provided and met every need. God says it was me all along. I don't work for human masters. I work for the one. I have a higher calling on my life, and I understand that whatever you think you have, it came from God. So you cannot tip me with money, with things or positions. Sometimes you have to lose your disposition to take your rightful position, and that is what is happening to us all right now. The one is dealing with your state of mind. Disposition is the predominant or prevailing tendency of one's spirit. The prevailing spirit in the world today is the abuse of women, of children, of the elder, and of anyone else that is deemed to be less than. The truth is, you can have all the material wealth and money in the world. You can have riches untold. You can have entourages or be surrounded by people, horses, things, or whatever moves you. But if you do not have love, you have nothing. You did not call me. The one called me, and now you are being called. You are being called to life. I did not come to ask for anything. I came to give you an opportunity to do the right thing. I don't want your damn money. I need your help. Help me to help you. Damn is harmful, injurious, condemnation. Money does not buy me. I am not moved or tempted by money or material gains. Now, while I would like to obtain a certain tangible reality of the one that matches the unseen reality in my life, I will not compromise my integrity, my dignity, or my self-respect. Understand what I am saying to you. This time you need to shut up and listen, not to me, but to the Spirit of God working through me. I come not to represent myself. I come to represent the one who is greater than us all. For those who have ears, let them hear. Whatever you think you know means nothing if it is not of love. Whatever you think you have, if it is not of love, it is nothing. This message is about universal love. You can bring your money, your power, your rules, your laws, your arrogance, your warped thinking, or whatever you try to bring and behave like you are better than someone else because of your name, your position, your title, or your purse. But there is no greater power or influence than the power of love. And Jimi Hendrix said it this way: when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will then know peace. Never underestimate the power of love, peace, compassion, joy, kindness, and real acceptance of your brother and sister, no matter where they are in their lives. You have to meet people where they are. The real Grinch that stole Christmas and every other season for the reason is people like you. When I say people like you, I am referring to the arrogant, oppressive, suppressive, abusive, and those who take no real consideration of what is actually standing or sitting in front of them or who walks among them. Those are the real trifling and lazy ones. And then you to try to flip the script and say, I got issues, I am being redeemed. And every time I open my mouth or put ink to the paper, God is using me to reclaim you and your broken self. Every time I speak, write, God lifts me up to be able to lift you up. And every time I open my mouth, pen a book, I am paying the price of redemption. Don't you understand? I spent a long time being silent because I was told that silence is golden. Silence can be golden, this is true. But when silence is used to take the spotlight off of lies, deceit, cheating, infidelity, suppression, oppression, corruption, and abuse, then it is just a cover for your madness. And then you want to walk all emboldened because what you view as weakness is actually strength, and a person who is going through something to help you become stronger. Don't get it twisted. Everything is not always the way it appears to be. The student sometimes becomes the teacher, and the teacher becomes the student. But if you think you are better than someone else, you miss the message. If you think your material possession dictates how things are going to be run, then God steps in and shows himself and gives you no rest. But in love will send someone to redeem you and will not leave you out there when you call on him. Him, by the way, is relative, so don't get stuck over gender. Can you really handle it if Jesus was a woman? The answer is probably not, because I am looking at a world that abuses women to the nth degree. We all have issues. It's called post-traumatic stress syndrome. Post-traumatic stress syndrome can develop following a traumatic event that threatens a person's safety or makes them feel helpless. It happens as a result of experiencing or witnessing something horrific. And if it is not addressed immediately after the trauma, it can evolve to becoming post-traumatic disorder and wreak havoc in a person's life. So now you see disorder and you want to blame others for what you created. The you that I am referring to are the arrogant, oppressive, suppressive, abusive, and those who take no real consideration of what is actually standing in front of them or among them. Do you think slavery is a condition or situation that only happened over 400 years ago? Do you think that the abuse of people just goes away because you change laws or the game to get people to behave differently? Do you think the impact it has on a person's life just goes away in a few years? Read. Then you will have a better understanding of who I am and you won't handle me the way you do. Try to understand what you are reading and read in the name of God and let the words heal you. When I look at you, I see a scared old man afraid of dying alone. I see a lonely old man who is just as fragile as he thinks I am. A scared little boy who wants his mother but don't recognize her when she comes. I see someone who wants to talk and work through the pain that he is feeling in his heart, but too afraid to tap into his feminine side out of fear of being viewed as weak. When I look at you, I see a sleeping giant who does not even recognize the gift of God's deliverance and salvation, and it is right there in the people that comes into your life, in the church, in the mosque, in your house, in your business, in your country. You don't know who they are because you are so quick to reject them. Give a person a chance to show themselves worthy. And only forgiveness allows you to do that. Only an open heart allows you to do that. Only the spirit of love allows you to do that. Only God allows you to do that. Salvation was the gift that I touched when I went to the water the other day. As I walked into the water for the first time since I have been here in Grenada, that same old familiar voice said to me, wade in the water. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children. God's going to trouble the water. Where there's trouble, there is also a solution. I had to get reacclimated to the water, so when my husband told me, hey, there is salvation, go to it, I was afraid because I had not been in the water for a while, although I am a decent swimmer. He said to me, I am going to post this on Facebook that ATIYA refused salvation. Well, that was not the truth, so I had to prove him wrong. I swam to salvation not once but twice. The first time to prove to him, the second time to prove to myself that I could do it. Yet my husband was very afraid of the water. And the reason we had been fighting on the way to the beach that day is because he was afraid and was keeping his fear secret, not knowing that I would have understood. Because every day God gives me breath, I face my fears. I face my fear of darkness. I face my fear of death. I face my fear of strangers. I face my fear of being left alone and not being able to find my way. My husband not only faced his fear by stepping into the water, he got on this raft boat with the rope tied to a steamboat. The steamboat pulled the two of us. The instruction we were given at the beginning of the ride was to keep this thing balanced to remain safe. He sat on one side of the raft, I sat on the other side, and the key was for us to hold on tight and sit up straight. The race is not to the swift nor the strong, but to those who can endure until the end. No matter how much afraid either of us were, we held on tight, kept that thing balanced, and made it safely to the shore. Sometimes the ride was a little rocky, but we worked together so that we could remain safe. We had to send signals to the driver of the steamboat as to when he was going too fast. But he assured us that we were safe, and we were going to be safe. There were times where it looked like things were spinning out of control, and times when the waves were so high that the raft lifted from off the water. The driver told us before that ride that we would be safe, and the only way I knew in my heart that we would be safe is for me to believe the driver. My husband yelled during the whole ride because that is what the driver told him to do to get it all out of his system. Throw it all out in the ocean and in the water, let it go. That's what he said. Now, I prayed the whole ride because that is what I knew I had to do. Never underestimate the power of a praying woman. She prays for you even when you don't know she is praying. She is praying for you even when she does not know why she is praying for you. She prays and a healing comes into your life. An opportunity comes into your life. Wonderful things happen in your life. So never think that you are the one doing anything. Know that God is answering her prayers on your behalf. The reason why there is so much confusion in the world and problems in marriages is because, first of all, you connect yourselves to the wrong things. Second, you do not hear each other or fully understand the importance of cleaving. You must grasp the concept of balance in marriage and balance in your relationship with others. Real, authentic friendships, business endeavors, social gatherings are a friend to the marriage, and both husband and wife walk in agreement with it with ease. When there is no agreement, confusion happens, and then it takes God to come and deliver you from the confusion. But it was you all along who just didn't get the message. So God had to come to make the message just a little bit more clear. No matter how you slice the pie, there are very real differences between men and women. Men have a tendency to dismiss women because of gender and because they think they know more than women. On the other hand, women think they can use their body and their power of persuasion through their body in subtle manipulations. Neither positions are correct. This is why both must be rooted in the one. This is why in marriage, husbands and wives must cleave, because not to cleave is leaving both of you uncovered and the door open for strangers to walk right into your house. The scripture does say be careful how you entertain strangers, because you could be entertaining angels unaware. This is true. But the angel of what? It could be the angel of death coming in to cause the death or destruction of your marriage. The proof is in the pudding, and you can tell a man by his works. If you read my words, you would know my fruits. But you don't like to read, so this time I removed your excuse. Now listen to my voice. God guides you by the Spirit, not by might, not by strength, but by my Spirit, saith the Lord. Men have the XY chromosomes. Women have the X chromosome. X is the 24th letter and 19th consonant of the alphabet. It is used when the I is omitted. It represents the unknown. Y is the 25th letter of the alphabet and is a semivowel. A semivowel is a half a voice. Y becomes the 24th letter when I is omitted. When husbands and wives fully understand who they are and their role in one another's lives, when men realize that they are not the authority and women understand who they are in the sight of God, then and only then will this abuse stop. Men, you are not the authority. There is an unseen power that you will never come to understand unless you tap into your feminine side. You can only manifest divine light when you realize that it is not you who does it, it is God. What you have and what you give to others, God gave you. So any woman you feel the need to help, I ask you what your intentions are. Because the man who finds a wife finds a treasure and finds favor with the Lord. If you do not have a wife, no matter what you think you have, it is not real bona fide wealth. And if you do not have a wife, then you need to ask yourself why, instead of coveting what someone else has or try to slither up close like a snake in a garden, trying to play with her mind to cause her to lose her balance. You need to stop disrespecting your brothers by trying to push up on his wife or disrespect him because you think he is not good enough or don't measure up to what you feel a man should be. Husbands, you need to learn to listen to your wife and believe her and believe in her. Your wealth and the favor of God is standing right in your face. And because you have not learned to take the I out of the equation, you are not experiencing the real beauty and joy of what marriage to a godly woman can bring. When you find a wife, that means she was prepared for you. So if you say your wife is a liar, a cheat, a bitch, or whatever other derogatory name you call her, that means she was prepared especially for you. You call to you what you are. When a woman realizes that it is not her, but the God in her that is often being rejected, then she can be used to elevate and multiply her husband because she becomes less emotional to a child lacking understanding. She must understand her value, her worth, and her real beauty, which goes far beyond her coochie. And until a woman understands who she is, and until a man understands who she is, there will continue to be abuse in the world on all levels. God uses the woman in miraculous ways. I was physically baptized at the age of 7, but it wasn't until I stepped out on the water knowing that I love my husband and he loves me, and we both journey to conquer our fears, but together as one, that I realized that I was now being baptized in the wisdom and power of God. It wasn't until I came to know real love and the understanding of who I am as a woman of God that I was able to take a firm stand against abuse no matter what the source. Abuse is not acceptable on any level of any kind. The key is love. And for the first time in my life, I understand the awesome power of love, not because of the word alone, but because the word is being made flesh by my husband learning to do what he said he would do. When the one baptizes you, he baptizes you in the wisdom. What the one brings is the real substance behind the symbol. Preachers can dip people in the water every Friday or Sunday if they choose to. That does not mean someone has been baptized. To be baptized is to be cleansed spiritually. It means to initiate or dedicate by purification. You can bring all the symbols you want and lay them at my feet. If it ain't in the spirit of love, thanks, but no thanks. My husband manages me, and he manages me well. Yet I understand that there is an unseen power behind him, and that is who called me. That is who I serve. As far as me and my house, we will serve the Lord. So women, if your intentions are to try to get my husband and not come through me, then you are going through a back door and you will not be blessed. You're subtle in your windows and manipulations, attempting to get my husband to fall by shaking your behind, your breast, your soft speech, or your I knew him longer game, or we're just friends. Please call me insecure or whatever the hell you want. Just like every man must go through my husband to get to me, you have to come through me to get to my husband. God called this one. God called this one. And what God joined together, let no man or woman put asunder. It is about cleaving, and every married couple must be courageous to cleave and must be willing to forsake all others for each other. And brothers and sisters, don't be so quick to throw a gift away because you might having a difficult time making a decision or having a hard time cutting some ties. It could be that you hate a thing that might be good for you. So while you say that you can't deal with this or that, it could be that you yourself cannot handle the responsibility of it. And this pendulum swings both ways, with people and things. You throw the baby out with the bathwater. In truth, that is something an ignorant father would do. That is something a man who has not learned to tap into his feminine side would do. And in his ignorance, mishandle one of the most beautiful gifts he has ever been given. This is why men must learn to tap into their feminine side to be able to deal properly with the woman of God, of which I am. All women are sacred, and while they may not understand the full scope of their beauty, their value, or sacredness, you still have no right to abuse or misuse her. If God sends her to you in any manner, whether as a wife or someone to help, you have a responsibility and duty to handle her properly. And if you have a wife already, then you must first look to her and she will guide you on how to handle those women. And if you don't have a wife, but she has a husband, then you have no right thinking you can sidestep her husband. I don't care who you are or what you have. A lot of people want to reproduce what me and my husband had. Yet, we came to the table being true to who we were and were honest to each other. We are a team and we work together in everything we do. And I don't describe to all men lie and cheat, nor do I subscribe to all women are manipulative. You see, a mother knows how to separate the dirty water from the baby. She gently and lovingly coddles that baby and lifts him or her out of the water, drains the water down the drain, moisturizes and nourishes the baby's skin, and dresses him or her to go out for the day. A mother understands the cry of her baby. She knows when the baby is hungry. She knows when the baby needs the diaper change. She knows when the baby does not feel well. She knows when the baby just wants attention. How does she know? God says it was me all along. Not by might, not by strength, but by my spirit, saith the Lord. Leadership must take some responsibility for when things go awry. Likewise, if you want something real, you have to come to the table real. How can you expect to draw something honest, something truthful, faithful, and something beautiful when what you are putting out is lies, deceit, dishonesty, disloyalty, half-truths, ugliness? You have to come correct. This includes leadership. This includes all of us. We all are going through some things, and we need each other. You may want to divide people into classes, but your way is not God's way. And you have to do it God's way. You say you want to help me, then to help me, you need to know what I need. I realize that we live in an abundant universe. Therefore, I work to not take more from the universe than what I know I need, want, and desire in good measure. And at this moment, what I need is this. I need a new laptop with all the necessary software suitable to do what I need to do. I need 100 ISBN numbers. I need positive exposure, exposure that's going to show me and project me in the light that I'm coming in. I need people to buy and read my books. I need my name to be understood. I don't need a name. I need my name to be understood because I already have a name. I have one that God gave me. I need to be able to fly anytime, anywhere I feel the need to with my husband by my side or whoever else I need to be by my side at that moment. In friends. I need immigration barriers removed so that my husband can meet my family in America. I need this beautiful island of Grenada to have parks with swings and other things for the children, a bowling alley, sidewalks, and other things that encourages healthy marriage and family. I need a staff of people who shares and understands my vision to help. I need access to where I need to go, when I need to go there with no questions asked, and to be met with love and kindness wherever I go. I need you to understand my divine purpose so that every opportunity you bring is one which is within the context of my gift, my purpose, and what I have been called to do. Now, what you are inspired to give is between you and the one. I am free, and I intend to stay free. I am here to help free you, so help me help you help yourself. Thank you for listening. Godspeed.